Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Cocktails and Classics. I'm your host, Dylan McPhee.
And joining me this week...
He's not. Although if he wants to host Hubie Halloween, that's fine.
Welcome back to Cocktails and Classics.
Hold on.
Week.
Classics is a loose one this week.
This is an instant classic.
Welcome back to Cocktails and Instant Classics.
We need to put this at the top of the episode. This is not a classic, so I'm sorry about that.
Like I've said, we've given you 3 treats this Halloween. It's time for a little trick.
Zach gave a little teaser of this in the Halloween episode with his first question in the trivia section. And we had to do it to him. We had to go full meme. We're doing Hubie Halloween this week.
Yes.
The latest from Adam Sandler.
The Sandman.
On Netflix.
Adam Sandler's punishment to the world for not recognizing his role in Uncut Gems enough.
Oh, God. Well, the director of this movie did do Sandy Wexler, The Do-Over, Movie 43, which was
That one was
also-
bad. That was a bad movie. I'll say it.
he did do Little Nicky,
Okay,
Mr. Deeds,
all right.
Without a Paddle.
Mr. Deeds is a solid movie.
Just watched it
He also
other
wrote
night.
The Mighty Ducks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was also in Batman Returns, so he's a winner in my book.
He was in Batman
Neat.
Returns?
Apparently, that's what it says.
Oh, yeah, Gothamite #1.
Damn. The coveted role of Gothamite #1. You know they had to bring in people for a second round of auditions for
I
that
didn't know
role.
that's what they called people from Gotham City. Gothamites.
What would you think, like a Gothonian?
No, because
Gotham-
A Gothinican.
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't
Goth-
know. I never
a
thought about
Gothigander.
it, I guess.
a big titty goth GF.
It's just a gothic. Anyone from Gotham is a gothic.
It's not a scene.
It's not
It's not a phase,
Mom.
Mom. I'm from Gotham City.
To go with Hubie Halloween, we're sipping some spiked punch this week. This is another one like the toddy where you can kind of just go off a template here. So I made mine into a 1 drink kind of size. So I did about 3 ounces of fruit punch, 1 ounce of lemonade, 2 ounces of vodka, about a ½ ounce to 1 ounce of light rum, and then subcloaded. Sorry, my stroke's kicking in. Club soda to top, and then you always drop in that Surfside sip in there to get that real aesthetic.
Honestly, a fantastic straw. If they weren't a sponsor, I would say that. They're a fantastic straw.
But I like it. I don't know if anyone else actually made the drink, but it's all right. I feel like a lot of vodka drinks are always like really fruity.
Yeah, this one's
Just so
safe.
you don't have to taste it.
You know, this is like the safest cocktail you're going to make. Crack open a can of Hawaiian Punch, pour some vodka and rum in, and just get slizzard while you watch the greatest movie of 2020.
It's like the only movie of 2020.
Watch the only movie that Corona was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to let you finish.
I'm going to say, this movie has outperformed Tenet. That's all I'm going to say. Take that, Nolan fanboys.
Hubie Halloween is a 2020 American comedy film. So definitely not into our usual old classics, but we did want to branch out a little bit this season. So what better way than to do a movie that's like 4 weeks old?
Oh, God.
It's a comedy horror film directed by Stephen Brill, written by Adam Sandler and Tim Hurley. Stars the usual suspects: the Sandman, Kevin James, Rob Schneider's in there at one
Julie
point.
Bowen, Ray Liotta's in it. Huge names.
Steve Buscemi, the volunteer firefighter.
On 9/11, I heard about that.
Maya Rudolph comes in.
George Wallace is in there. Also was in Batman Forever. So
What?
this movie's just
Yeah.
an ensemble of former Batman stars.
He was
he
was
Gothamite
also
number 2?
No, he was actually, get this, the mayor.
Oh my god.
What? Insane, right? Shaquille O'Neal, who could forget?
I mean, basically the main character, Shaq. Yeah.
I didn't realize Tommy is Will Byers from.
Yeah,
From Stranger Things.
Yeah, Noah
I
Schnapp.
mean, I
know that?
recognized
Yeah,
his
that's-
face, and then I was
yeah.
like, I have to look up who this kid is because it's blanking on me.
Yeah,
It
it's a
took me a
star-studded
minute.
cast for the kids. I didn't recognize a ton of people, but I guess for like the main kid characters in the show, they just scraped up a bunch of Disney Channel actors that are big right now and threw them in to be like high schoolers.
Wow, that sounds like every Adam Sandler movie. You're a young actor and you're looking for roles, and you've only done Disney stuff. Come work on this feature.
Hey, he launched Dylan and Cole Sprouse into the Disney universe.
Are you only famous for being on Saturday Night Live? Come be in my movie.
Adam Sandler just likes making movies with his friends, guys. If you're the Sandman's friend, you're going to be in a movie. Guaranteed.
That's true.
I will say the like 5 minutes of bloopers that were like the end credits.
Yeah.
It looked fun. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like this movie would be fun to work on.
Oh, I feel like all of his movies are probably fun to work on. It's just that they're not fun to watch.
Well, okay,
No,
that's not true.
I'm
They're
just-
definitely fun to watch, but not for like great reasons.
I'm just raking the Sandman over the coals.
I personally haven't done a lot of Adam Sandler movies. I mean, like I watched Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love, but from anything from like
You haven't seen any of the '90s classics?
Little Nicky, anything from like Little Nicky to this
What?
is big miss on me.
You haven't Happy
I've never
Gilmore,
seen Mr.
Billy
Deeds.
Madison, Mr. Deeds,
No. I've
seen Happy
Big
Gilmore.
Brother.
Cameron, that was all. That was all
I
before
see.
Little Nicky.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Dear God, read the room.
I didn't see Mr. Deeds, but I saw the other one. So he's not necessarily my cup of tea when it comes to comedy. But I had a shit-eating grin for most of this movie, not gonna lie.
It's just so damn goofy. Now, I'll come out and say I have the opposite experience. I grew up on Adam Sandler, probably too much on Adam Sandler, and then he took a break in the early 2000s, handed me off to Will Ferrell, and then high school happened, and now here I am.
Yeah, I think the last Adam Sandler movie I watched was probably Click, or maybe 50 First Dates. I think Click came out second though. After that, I don't know, but I think that was probably.
Click had such a sad ending.
I think Click was
Just-
my
it's a
last
tearjerker.
Adam Sandler movie that I actually sat down and watched a long time ago before this one.
I just haven't seen any of the Netflix deal.
I mean,
movies.
most people have not.
Okay,
Tell that to my dad.
the one where it's like him and Jennifer Aniston, and it's like the mystery.
The Do-Over, or
No,
Is it the-
it's not the do-over.
it's
Now you're
like
gonna-
the mystery
gonna
one
make
on
me
the
look it
boat or
up.
something, right?
Yeah, it was. Murder mystery.
Okay.
Wait, the movie is literally called Murder Mystery.
I was thinking of the
yes,
Do-Over.
it is. Okay.
Yeah, murder mystery was pretty solid for, like, yeah, not all of Sandler's movies, but for most of like the recent Sandler stuff, pretty solid. But yeah, Dylan, I'm like you. I don't think since I know 50 First Dates I saw, but that was about the last one that I remember really watching as an Adam Sandler movie, and even that was hard to believe. That was 2004. Well, no, I'm sorry. The Longest Yard in 05.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that.
See, okay. I'll say that one. I didn't really think of 50 First Dates. Like, I've seen that one. I've seen Longest Yard. I've seen Click, actually. I think I saw Grown Ups one. So, actually, I'm lying to you.
Yeah, I feel like you lied 100%.
Sounds like
Funny
you've seen the
people.
Yeah,
majority
you've seen
of
them. The majority of is not. Well, like Grown Ups is
Yeah.
a bad movie, but the rest of them.
See, I looked through pretty much after Longest Yard, and it was like I know the movies came out. I couldn't tell you anything about them.
I like when he tries to not just be like a goofball the entire movie. Like, he's like a really good actor when he does like Punch Drunk Love, Funny People, Uncut Gems. Like, the more serious roles, like, they're still a little comedic. I mean, Uncut Gems is not, but they're a little more comedic, or they're a little comedic, but they're definitely more like serious like acting roles, and he does like such a great job with those. So I'm
He can definitely dial it in
Yeah.
when he needs to.
yeah, it's interesting that he just chooses to do Hubie Halloween.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he just wants to have a good time with
He
his
just
buds.
wants to ball with his bros.
Yeah, he just wants to ball with his bros.
I have to keep Rob Schneider relevant for like
Right.
2 more years.
Well, but
Oh
here's
my
the
God.
thing: where was David Spade?
That's true.
I know.
David Spade was busy. He's probably hanging out with some 19-year-old model.
Now he has his own show now on Comedy
Oh,
Central.
that's
so
right.
he's
He has
probably
like a
doing
late night show.
I was surprised not to see him.
Nick Swardson. I was also surprised I didn't
I
see.
mean, we saw a lot of actors in here.
Yeah, they jammed a ton.
Yeah, when Rob Schneider was like the insane silent patient, I was just like, you've.
Guys,
I saw the blonde hair and kept trying to figure out who it was. I was like, who have we not
I thought it was
seen?
going to be
Yeah.
David Spade.
And then I was like, oh, the blonde hair, David Spade makes sense. And then when he knocks on the door and it's Schneider, I went, how did I not see this coming?
Yeah.
I should have
Yeah.
known.
Dan Schneider
saw,
is a stapler.
I saw Adam Sandler when he came. I think he came to the
Rob
Fox.
Yeah.
Schneider,
Not,
not Dan
Dan,
Schneider.
not Dan, give me your feet,
Not Dan
Schneider. My
Schneider.
bad. This is a different
That would
guy.
not be okay around all these child
Yeah,
actors.
that's a different guy. My bad. Sorry, Rob Schneider. Didn't mean to lump you in there with him.
No. That's all
Be
right.
like, hey, Tommy, can I see your feet?
Yeah.
No, this is all good. I saw Adam Sandler on his 100% Fresh tour, and Rob Schneider opened up for him. And I don't know if I've ever seen like a more homophobic, xenophobic stand-up set.
Ouch.
Rob Schneider should be. I'll call it. You'll hear it here on the Classic and Cocktails podcast first, or the Cocktails and Classics podcast,
Whatever we call
we're
it.
called. We should cancel Rob Schneider. He doesn't sound like a good guy.
All right. Well, I don't feel bad anymore.
I went to Comic-Con in the Motor City Comic-Con in Novi. Not this past year because they didn't have one. But like a year or two ago, and Rob Schneider was one of the media guests, and I felt really bad because there was nobody in line to see him. It was just kind of him standing there, and I was like, ooh, man.
Because who really wants to talk to Rob Schneider? You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows who he is, but come on.
Been like, God, Rob, I really loved you in Hot Chick.
Yeah, hot chick. And
Rob.
all of those Adam Sandler movies.
I really loved your bit parts in all of Adam's movies.
You were fantastic as the delivery man in Big Daddy. Hip Hop Anonymous totally got me on the floor, laughing my ass off. Damn you give him all the
when
easy
you screamed,
ones.
"You can do it" in Waterboy, God, that made that movie.
You can
Or
do
when
it.
you
Oh,
scream,
Cut his
God.
fucking head off. That was good.
or when you scream that line, "You can do it" in the longest yard. That was so funny. It was like how you did it before. Oh, gold.
Okay, speaking of, though, I feel like this movie is just like a weird like culmination of every Adam Sandler movie ever. And also like almost every Halloween movie ever too.
Yeah, Adam Sandler's under contract, and you can tell.
Cuz like they start
signed a long
they
deal.
start with basically the same guy from which was it? Happy Gilmore, right?
Yeah, Hal the
Yep.
Orderly.
Yeah, they start with him and then Adam Sandler talks in the voice as he is wont to do. And then
Classic Sandman.
I
and
hated
then
that voice.
did you know
Oh my
Jesus.
god, it was so hard to understand anything.
That's how he
fucking
talks.
said.
I had captions on it. It was still hard to understand.
he has what Vicky Valentine, right? That's her name. Six of his
Yeah,
love
no.
interests
Love
in
interest.
movies have had the initials VV, by the way, if you're counting at home, including this one.
Here's one for you.
Weird.
Did you know that Julie Bowen played his love interest in Happy
in
Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Totally different. She looks totally different than and I didn't honestly know until recently that she plays that, but she like I know her from Modern Family, but I forgot that she's also in Billy Madison.
Oh yeah, she's
Billy
Claire.
Madison.
Okay. Oh shit! All right. I was like, she
Yeah.
looks familiar. And I'm like, am I mixing her
No,
with a
she's in
different
Modern
actress?
Family, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's where I remember her from, but then now recently I'm like, wow, she actually that was her and Billy Madison as the teacher.
Happy Gilmore.
No.
Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore is the reporter.
Oh, okay. I
you
got you.
fucking nerd.
Miss Vennett.
Whatever, same thing.
Yeah, she was the history teacher in.
In Animal
In
House.
Animal House. No. She was the poli-sci teacher in
Oh
Animal
my
House.
God.
We know who the
Oh,
history teacher was. That was in the last episode.
Yeah, she was Virginia Vinnett
Vennett. Yeah.
Vennett in Happy Gilmore.
Gotcha.
She's
Yeah.
other VV.
Virginia, give me a Coke. Oh, Miss Diet. Shoot him a Gavin.
God. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? Oh,
So
man. Fucking love that
Cam already
movie.
kind of mentioned the the beginning of our movie for us. We're introduced to Ben Stiller's character for his fucking 4 lines or whatever he says.
It's such a great
You're in my world
cameo
now.
because if you're just like tuning into this movie and you haven't watched any of the old ones, you're probably like, "What the hell is this?"
Well, and this was kept under wraps. Like
Oh,
during the filming of Hubie Halloween, there were leaks like, oh yeah, Kevin James is in it, Maya Rudolph is in it. Like all the celebrity cameos were being leaked. This was the one that they kept secret until right before it dropped on Netflix.
did they keep Shax in there?
What movie is he like in?
Ben Stiller?
Happy Gilmore. He plays the
same character in
orderly
Happy Gilmore.
when Adam Sandler's character Happy Gilmore drops off his grandmother at the nursing home. He's the orderly.
okay.
He's like, oh, your
All
fingers hurt? Well, now your back's gonna hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty.
Yeah, please,
Okay, I remember now.
like,
Yeah, he's
working
like
the old
he's like a real
people to
shithead to
death.
her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
This is anime quality
torturing
shit we're
people.
talking here.
You will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now,
Oh
Grandma.
my god.
Did you go pee pee while you sleepy?
Yes.
That line was just like, what the fuck?
Such a weird, fun, like, God.
Because then the
So
character
stupid.
escapes. I'm like, okay, are we watching Halloween
Yeah.
again? Like
Yeah,
the mental
exactly.
patient escapes, and it just freaking.
But that character didn't really do anything. Like, that did not have any
Exactly.
relevance.
This movie is so.
It's so weird.
It's like all
It
over the
is.
place.
I thought half the time he was like dreaming because like Vicky Valentine would ride up and be like, "Hey Hubie, you're so awesome and cool. See you later."
I thought that was a really interesting way to take the movie. Is she didn't end up being a bad guy,
Right.
and you kind of get that vibe. Like if you're watching the movie, you're thinking, okay, she's being way too nice to Hubie. Something's like she's gonna be the antagonist. Something's gonna go wrong, and she wasn't. She was just there for Hubie the whole time. You gotta appreciate that.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, Hubie, I love you," and then he's just like, "Yeah, do you want to go?"
So, how's your
Never
ex-husband,
mind.
Steve?
Yeah, you still have a chance with Steve.
I talked to him yesterday. We were in the squad car talking codes, 10-4s, 10-5s, you know, whatnot.
How you guys doing? We've been divorced for 4 years, so I'm sure you'll get through this rough patch.
And then we leave the insane asylum, and we're introduced to our hero, Hubie,
Hubert Dubois.
also known as Hubie to the locals.
Hubie Doobie.
And I'm gonna call him
You were
Hubie.
gonna call him Hubie. You
Who's
did
Hubie?
straight up
You're
just call him
Hubie,
Hubie.
Hubie is he's assaulted with many items throughout the film, but they start with just some eggs. The O'Doyle kids.
Yes, another Billy
And,
Madison reference.
Yeah.
He absorbs the eggs or just catches them into his
What's up with
thermos.
his magic thermos, by the way?
And then drinks them, Rocky Balboa
then-
style.
And then pukes
And then
like
pukes
a
all of
stream.
it.
I was like, what the fuck?
So I've got one for you. My first little bit of Sandman trivia. Things you may not have noticed. For the listeners at home, this was my fifth complete watching of Hubie Halloween. It was I watched it a halftime with a friend, but we didn't make it through. We fell asleep early. But I've seen it now
Can't imagine
5
why.
complete times through. Hubie's thermos is easily explained if you go back to his time on Saturday Night Live and remember the Canteen Boy skit. Hubie Dubois might be Canteen Boy.
Oh my god, that's such a deep cut.
Wow.
But I
You heard it here
completely
first,
couldn't
ladies and
see it.
gents.
I thought you were literally gonna say it's explained in the throwaway line where he's like, "Yeah, it's my Swiss Army knife."
I mean, sure, he says that.
I only come with the real facts. Only the true facts in 2020.
Gee.
None of those fake facts.
This was such a dumb movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I know that they intended for it to be dumb, but oh my god, it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't enjoy watching the movie because I did enjoy watching it a bit. But like, oh my god, it's so stupid.
Is that not every Adam Sandler movie?
No,
though?
no.
Like I enjoyed it, but God was
I
it
don't
stupid.
think. I mean, so like older Adam
that's a
Sandler
majority
movies
of
are
Sandler
pretty
movies.
dumb, but this is like dumb.
Can I just say my favorite part of the movie was his mom's shirts constantly changing?
wearing the
my
shirts.
God.
The
Let's
first
talk
time
about
you
his
see it-
mom's shirts.
Just the first one being boner,
A boner
donor.
donor. I got it for 50 cents at the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or whatever. And then she
Yeah.
just immediately goes into this super campy line about how, well, actually, I don't know what a boner is either. I think it's like when you screw up. Like I had this really big boner in math class and everybody made fun of me. What?
And then Adam Sandler later in the movie says, "Oh, sorry, my
It's-
boner." And then the lady walks away, and she's like, "Why is he talking about a boner?"
boner.
When he's surrounded by the high school kids, and he's like, "I guess this is a pretty big boner on my part."
my boner. I don't think he knows what boner means.
But then she's wearing like the robe that says, "I'd hit that."
Yeah. Boxing gloves.
Well, and her friend has the same shirts as well. I wrote them all down.
Oh God.
the quick
glad you
cut
did.
and did you get the one when they're doing like the TV reporter on the Salem
Yes.
Halloween? It isn't gonna lick itself. Green shirt and black.
and I shaved my balls.
Yeah, I shaved my balls for this.
I also like the one that was the kayaks.
Kayaks get me wet. Did you guys get the? I think it was dark out, but it's just yellow shirt with red writing. Says Muffs Diving School.
Yes.
God damn it!
Those were the things. That's honestly what got me to laugh the hardest during this movie. Was constantly looking to see what her shirt was gonna say next.
While we're on the topic of his mom, I just want to call out another Halloween spooky reference. If we haven't given the spoiler warning, here it is. Hubie's mom is the bad guy, which is a direct call out to Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees' mom. Oh, I guess a spoiler if you haven't seen Friday the 13th either. But
Sorry, I wasn't going
I know
to.
we talked about doing a movie that gets meta, but I think we found the movie that gets the most horror
Yeah.
meta.
we thought
Right.
about Scream, but this covers all of it. I mean, Jaws, all kinds of horror movies in this one.
Yeah. We even get the best line from the Ghostbusters theme. Busted
Yeah,
makes me
that's
feel
true.
good.
We also get Steve Buscemi as a werewolf, so that's neat. His character is so
Hotel
funny.
Transylvania fans.
In the beginning,
Is he actually a werewolf?
I mean, he gets hairier, right?
Well, in the one part, they're like, this guy has like hair glued to rubber arms or something.
It's funny because in the beginning, he's like, "Yeah, I'm your new neighbor that just moved in this morning." Okay, cool. If you hear any weird noises, don't come check on me. It's actually really important that you don't. It's like, okay.
And then he comes and visits later, and he's like, "Sorry, I know you told me, but I didn't ignore it, and I'm here."
Yeah, I know you told me if I heard noises just to completely ignore it. Whatever I do, ignore it. I didn't ignore it. And that's on me. Like, just straight up, it's like I didn't do what you told me.
I love the part after like Rob Schneider's reveal, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got both of these guys. They just came and turned themselves in," and it's like actually kind of cute. They were both roommates, and the one came out to find his other friend.
Yeah,
and
he
then
had to
they're
get
like
his
sitting
buddy.
there. Yeah, they're like sitting there, and he's like, "Yeah, what did you do?" He's like, "Oh well, I pissed on a gravestone. I pissed on a fence. Did just a lot of piss stuff."
Did a lot of pissing.
And then he's like, "You're a good roommate," and he starts like scratching his chin. And Steve Buscemi's like
He's kicking
twitching
his
leg
ankle
like a
Oh
dog.
my God.
God.
It's like, what the hell is happening?
And
What's
they
the
are
true
not,
romance in
like,
this
other than
rom-com?
this weird thing, they are not really relevant for any of it. Any of the weird
No,
shenanigans.
it's misleading, but it's like it serves absolutely no purpose rather than to just like have his two buddies. in
It's
there.
yes, it serves two purposes: Rob Schneider and Steve Buscemi collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Thanks, Netflix.
I loved every like female character was dressed up as fucking Harlequin.
Yeah. Also, can we pour one out for that news reporter who got fired due to being in this movie?
Yeah, she legit got fired for this.
Yeah. She apparently
Wait, was she one of the newscasters?
she
in
was the
actual
anchor.
movie?
Yeah.
The anchor in the movie got
anchor.
fired
Oh my
from
God.
her real
From
life
her
job.
real job.
As the host of the Boston News.
Yeah, because she made a cameo in this movie, and apparently that was against her contract. So
I mean, it's not actually funny, but like it's kind of funny. Like it sucks that she lost her job, but it's worth a chuckle.
I don't know. I think that's lame. I feel like that's super lame.
Should have read the contract.
I guess, but like I don't know. If you're that new, like, what's the big deal? I don't know. She wasn't like
big
representing
deals.
Channel 7 News or whatever. It was just like generic news channel. Wolf Blitzer goes on like movies and does CNN stuff all the time, but maybe that's sanctioned by them, probably.
He also probably has a much different contract
Than Rando Girl at
Being-
Channel 7.
being,
Yeah.
Wolf fucking Blitzer.
Yeah.
Wolf's probably got a better lawyer working on his contract.
Yeah.
Every townsfolk in this movie is a total dick.
Except
Like
for
just
one.
anyone that they fucking cut to.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, Hubie." I was like, oh, "All right, poor Hubie."
Poor Hubie.
Man, that name really spread like warm peanut butter.
God. And it's so funny too, because at the end when they're literally tied to trees, about to be lit up, they're like still berating Hubie to like pull them down. Like, you're an idiot. Come free us.
Gee, thanks, Puby. Really? Really? He just saved your life, and
Right.
that's what you get.
This movie does have a great ending, though. The good guy wins. Everything's happy. We're all right where we should
The
be.
kids get their
Kids
own
get their
Swiss Army.
thermoses.
Also,
Thermoses.
Vicky's kids start calling him Dad.
Yes.
kind
If
of
you didn't
interesting.
know, I don't think we touched on this. Vicky Violet's daughters are played by Adam Sandler's daughters, Sunny and Sadie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh.
And then Noah Schnapp.
Gotta get that Netflix star power in there. Millie Bobby Brown.
He's
was
also
busy.
only in the movie for like all of 2 minutes.
Which one?
Noah Schnapp.
Tommy?
Yeah.
He's in the movie for a bit.
He's in there for a little bit. Like he's
I
in
mean-
there in a bit near the beginning, and then he has that scene
mean,
where he's with his
not enough.
girlfriend, right?
Not enough that you couldn't
Yeah.
have gotten like a lesser known actor, but
Right.
Like, he literally just came in like 30 minutes into the movie and is like, "Hey, can I have coffee?
Yeah.
Don't you drink hot chocolate?" "No, not anymore."
I'm a real
And then-
boy.
And then it's like, yeah, he has like the two scenes at the party, and then later on when they're like looking for their sisters, and Hubie just brings them back, and then when he calls him dad, that's like, and that's all.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay. I wonder if Netflix was like, "Hey, Adam's gonna be doing this movie. Could you like show up for like 2 days?"
So, that character was originally supposed to be played by Cameron Boyce, the Grown Ups 2 star and Disney Channel star who tragically died prior to the filming of this
I
movie.
see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they
Got the
probably cut a
dedication
ton of
at
shit
the
out.
end. The best
Yep.
cameo, as we've talked about, we mentioned it in passing, but Shaq.
Yes,
showing up
that was the
as,
best one.
DJ Aurora, sexy
What a reveal.
female voiced.
It's probably the most
Anchor at the-
unexpected thing in the movie is he walks in and he's just like sitting there with the voice over, and he just stares.
Side look.
His wife comes out and has like a super like masculine voice.
Sounded like that old lady trying to sell SpongeBob chocolates. Or SpongeBob
are
trying
you
to
selling?
sell chocolates. Dude, like,
Chocolate.
But then he like motions for Hubie to like come into the studio, and Hubie like shakes his head. And he's like, "No." He's like, "You're not what I expected you to look like."
And when his wife brings the sandwich and they
Oh,
like fucking
eat it
Lady and
together?
Lady and Tramp the sandwich. Oh my god.
Again, this movie is so dumb. It is so dumb, but it is a little enjoyable.
oh, it's super enjoyable.
Yeah.
I might watch it a seventh
Oh
time.
my god! Implying you're also gonna watch it a sixth.
He's gonna watch
Well,
it
it just
after
needs
this.
he just needs a halftime to get it.
Yeah, I
a
guess I have
little
to
bit
stop
up
it
there.
halfway through to
Yeah.
get through that sixth, so I can get back on track. I have to at least do that. Maybe I'll do that after the show.
I don't know. For all I know, Sandler is just like, you know what? I've made money off of doing the movies. I've gotten like, I don't want to say like huge critical success, but like a fan base for the stuff that I've done. Like people enjoy the movies I make. So I'm just, fuck it. Let's just have fun with it. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I don't think he's like going.
It's a pretty dope attitude to have.
Yeah, I don't think he's like making these and being like, "I'm about to fucking blow some minds." I think he has his base, and he's just gonna just write what he thinks is funny, and they're just gonna have fun making them, and hopefully it translates. Sometimes it's a miss, sometimes it's a miss, but
Sometimes it's a huge hit, like with Hubie Halloween.
I don't
I
know.
will say it was when I at the time of my watching earlier today was listed as like the number 4 movie in America on Netflix.
Like I said, it has outperformed Tenet. So
Is
well,
that real?
there's still 40% of Americans who like the president, so you know.
Not everyone has good taste, is what Dylan's trying to say.
like people who put ketchup on their steak.
Right.
Objectively
Or
bad
people
taste.
who like what their steaks well done.
Like people who put A1 in their 3 soup mix.
What? That one flew over my head. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's from the movie. Hubie Halloween goes to Claire Duffy and is like, "Give me some soup," and she's
Oh,
like, "I got pea."
Yeah, he
or
layers all
split
of
pea,
his
something
soups.
else, and he puts it in there and he blends it up and then asks for A1 steak sauce and puts it in there.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm so sorry I missed that reference. I definitely need to go back and rewatch Hubie Halloween.
Sorry, I went too deep on the Hubie Halloween.
That's such an obscure one. Yeah, there's there's just so many things that you would miss unless you watch it a second or third or fifth time. Or I guess maybe even more than that.
Or at least an extra half.
I would not
on top
recommend
of it.
watching it that many times because
You need that extra half.
everyone needs to be able to everyone needs to have their mental health in check, and I think that you should not watch this multiple times.
Zach, we're-
So
we're gonna
here's
put in a good
here's
will
the
call
thing.
for you.
So I've you hear the people that like get to the top of their craft and like they feel like they've reached everything, so they need to like tear down and start from the bottom. I feel like that's it for us. You know what I mean? Like we've reviewed some of like what IMDb lists as like the top movies,
Yeah.
and we've done it. And now we're just like everything's like an 8 or 9 because it's a great movie. But you know what? We need to go from like the top shelf back down to pop off.
The El
Work
Toro
our way
pop-off
back up.
shelf.
So we learn to reappreciate the top shelf
That's
shit.
a good point.
That's where we're
That's
at.
a good point.
I
This is
thought,
really a
we
cultural
need-
reset of our podcast, really.
Yeah, it's really it's a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
But like it's a wake up call
Gotcha.
for us to
Yeah.
be like, you know what? We need to understand really how good these movies are.
Okay,
I thought you
will
were going to
say-
say that about the podcast performance. Like we peaked during Jurassic Park, and we've been slowly.
Definitely
tearing
did
it down
not peak
ever
during Jurassic
since.
Park.
No.
So this week's podcast is brought to you by Surfside Sips. They make high-impact glass straws. They're a family-owned company, and what's better than saving the turds? You know.
The turds.
The turds.
You know, I'm one of those people who hates using paper straws. Paper straws fucking
Paper straws suck.
I
They are
love
the worst
what
solution.
they do. I love that we're minimizing the use of plastic straws. I enjoy that. Paper straws suck ass.
They suck. They're the worst possible solution because turns out, guess what? Paper and water don't fucking mix, okay? I don't know who came up with it, but it doesn't work. Even though they put coating on it to try and help, it doesn't work. It just gets soggy and you end up throwing it away anyway, and that's just more waste. And so,
But you know what doesn't get soggy? Glass.
yeah.
Glass straws from Surfside Sips. And if you want to get some glass straws from Surfside Sips, you can use coupon code cocktails and classics spelled out. That's cocktails AND classics for 20% off your order.
And if you're looking for a business to support during this time, seems like a good idea. Today's episode is brought to you by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word entertainment and audiobooks, ranging from bestsellers to celebrity memoirs, news, business, and self-development. But essentially what it is every month you get 1 credit to pick any title, plus 2 Audible originals from their monthly selection. So, Dylan and Zach, what are your experiences with Audible?
So, working from home nowadays, I recently used Audible to rip through one of my favorite book series. It's always great to go back and revisit some of your favorites.
And since we've recently done From Russia with Love, you could check out some of Ian Fleming's books on Audible. They have Dan Stevens, Toby Stevens, Damian Lewis, many great narrators. Read through Diamonds Are Forever, From Russia with Love, Live and Let Die. So maybe you want to get into the James Bond novels as well as the movies.
To start your free 30-day trial, go to audibletrial.com/cocktailsandclassics, all lowercase. Again, that's audible.com/cocktails, AND classics. After your free trial is up, it costs $14.95 per month. However, there are no commitments, and if you can't decide what to listen to, that's okay. You can roll your credits over up to 1 year.
This is the part of the show where Zach has had Hubie Halloween trivia all Halloween, and now he gets to crack out the best ones, hopefully.
Or the worst ones.
Hopefully it didn't ruin all
depending
of
on
them.
your definition.
Guys, we've had Hubie Halloween trivia going all month long.
Some got cut, some stayed.
We've talked about it on the show. And somehow I still have some for you. So, question number 1.
I'm scared because Zach gave us a lot of trivia, though, too.
I
Like,
know.
he was just, like, throwing out little tidbits throughout the entire, like, banter.
Well, to be fair, he has watched it 6 times, so I
Yes.
think he has. I think he can pull some trivia questions out from
That is,
his several viewings.
That's a fun pull back the curtain for the audience. Is sometimes I can be very quiet at the beginning of podcasts because I know we're tiptoeing close to some of my trivia questions, and I only have a handful sometimes, so I want to avoid them. But not this time. We're locked and loaded. Question number 1, including this film, how many times have the 2 main characters, Adam Sandler and Shaquille O'Neal, appeared together? Is it A, 2, B, 3, or C, 4?
In movies?
Yeah, how many films have they appeared together in?
Okay.
I'm going to say 2.
Man,
You said including this movie?
Including
Shaq
this movie.
and Adam Sandler? I don't... I know there's at least one other instance. There's got to be at least a third. I'm going to say 3.
I'm also going to say 3 because I know grown-ups, right?
Let me spit some truth at you, boys. We have a 3-way tie at
Oh,
0
no,
points.
it's 4?
Oh, man.
The answer is 4.
Was he in
This
Grown
is
Ups
the
2
4th
as well?
installment of the Sandler Shaquille O'Neal franchise. Jack and Jill,
Oh my
Grown
god.
Ups 2,
Oh.
Blended,
Oh.
and Hubie
The
Halloween.
fuck is blended?
Wow, none of the
he
movies
plays
I thought.
Doug in Blended.
I was thinking maybe he was in Uncut Gems for a minute.
No, that was Kevin Garnett. You
Yeah, I know that.
Different basketball player,
Jesus.
Dylan. Jeez.
different basketball player.
Read a book, Dylan. Jesus.
Your privilege is showing, Dylan.
Okay, there's a lot of people in the movie Uncut Gems. so-
Watch a fucking Sports Center, bud.
Question number 2. I'll make this one a little easier for you boys. The film takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials originally took place. In what year? A, 1692, B, 1682, or C, 1672?
Jeez, we have to get it by like 10 years? God damn it.
I hate everything you choose to be.
I will say 1672. Feels right. I don't know.
If it feels right, you gotta go with it. I get that. That's the way you play this game.
I'm going to say 1682.
Nice. I'm gonna get it right and say 1692.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. The Salem witch trials lasted from 1692 to 1693.
Bing, bing.
Dylan just took a commanding lead.
I went to Salem.
I have been there as well, but I am not a giant nerd, so I didn't get that right.
Ha! Way to go,
No,
nerd.
actually,
You're winning.
Hannah had a book called Salem 1692. It was like
Oh.
about witches and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, also Zach was like, every answer ended in 2. I knew the 2, but
All right, guys. So Dylan's in the lead, and I gotta tell you, I've been saving this tie-breaking question since.
But we're not
before
in a
we started
tiebreaker.
Filming. No, I'm just saying.
No.
I
Oh,
started.
okay.
he wants us to get there.
I really need you to get this next question right, Ben or Cam, and Dylan, I need you to get it wrong because
Okay.
I need this tiebreaker so bad. I've been saving it for a
Well,
month.
Dylan can go first on the next question then.
Question number 3. How many actors in Hubie Halloween have appeared in the Grown Ups franchise? Is it A, 5,
Oh no.
B, 10, or C, 15?
Holy
Oh my god.
See, that's that's the question where you can't just be
No.
like, oh yeah, it's like maybe one or two more.
Yeah, I think it's like I'd think 5, but that seems too low.
Let Dylan answer, then you and Ben can brainstorm. You can start naming them off. Ben is breaking out the legal pad. Let's fucking go. Cameron's trying to think back to all the times he was watching Grown Ups 1 and 2.
seen a single one.
You know,
I
the
haven't
whole,
seen. That's the thing, is I'm trying to basically just fucking guess on who it was.
Wow, Ben, you should listen to The Worst Idea Ever, which is a podcast about watching Grown Ups 2 every week for an entire year, and then they do a podcast about it.
Wow. We should do that with Hubie Halloween.
I've heard about that podcast.
They're on, I think, like season 2 or 3. This season they're watching We Are Your Friends, the Zac Efron movie about like being a DJ, and I think Sex and the City 2, I think, is the other one that they're watching.
So they can only do a season every year.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they watch the same movie every week.
Oh my god.
I'm going to say 15. I think there's a lot of people maybe just like small bits in both.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna say 10 because I feel like it's more than 5, but I don't know. But Dylan said 15, so maybe 10.
I'm also gonna say 10. I counted and I got more than 5.
But you've never seen the movie. How would you know?
Members of the Hubie Halloween cast that have made an appearance in the Grown Ups franchise include Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Rob Schneider, Steve Buscemi, Maya Rudolph and Tim Meadows, Shaq, Jackie, Sadie, and Sonny Sandler,
Oh no.
China Ann McClain,
No, it's 15. Fuck.
Colin Quinn, Blake Clark, Dan Patrick, and Alan
Honestly, I
Cohen.
wanted to go 15, but it was
Guys,
useless to say 15.
Season 2 is just the season of Dylan fucking whooping ass.
What is the tiebreaker question?
The tiebreaker is I'll say it's no surprise. You could have easily prepared for it while watching the movie. And I want you to know that this is the only complete list of this here fact. There's no other list on the internet that is this complete. In the movie Hubie Halloween, closest without going over, how many prior references are there to Adam Sandler movies?
You heard it here first, ladies and gents.
It's so hard because it's like, what do you qualify as a prior reference?
There are lists online. None of them are this complete.
You did it?
Will say that.
Did you make this list?
On October 23rd,
Did you make this list?
I made this list.
Really?
From my 6.5 times
my
watching this
God.
movie, I made this list.
That's insane.
How many times did you watch it this week in preparation for this episode?
3. Including just now. I just finished it before recording.
Oh my god.
Dear God.
I had to make sure.
Dear God.
This is the most comprehensive
Yes.
Hubie Halloween
I mean,
trivia in the world.
yes.
You heard it here first.
Looper
On
has
Cocktails
put
and
out an
Glasses.
article. Looper, you've missed a few. Cinema movies, you've put out a list. You've missed a few.
They missed.
They're all here.
Wow. They should really hire you to fix those errors. You know?
But only for
Yeah,
Adam
to just
Sandler
watch
movies that
shitty Adam
reference them.
Sandler movies all day.
Oh god.
Closest without going over. Do you guys have
mean,
guesses?
God.
Do you want to brainstorm out
my
loud?
guess. I mean, my guess is
25.
gonna be 50.
I'm going to guess. Hold on. I'm gonna say 60. I'm gonna say there's like one every minute and a half.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. It's way too many. There are 13 references to prior just Adam Sandler
Okay.
movies. So there's Hal the Orderly at the very beginning, the Violet Valentine, the VV that we talked about. She's also in Happy Gilmore. Hubie being based on Canteen Boy from SNL, the O'Doyle boys
of
from
course.
Billy Madison, the Old Maid, the School Gym. She's pissed her pants. She's cool. Luke Miles Davis from Billy Madison. George Wallace played the mayor in Little Nicky.
Oh yeah.
The thermos given to Hubie's stepdaughter at the end, his real life daughter, is a blow dryer. That's a direct reference to "You Don't Mess with the
Oh
Zohan."
my god.
The thermos given to his stepson shoots a flare at a woman. That is a direct reference to Adam Sandler shooting a flare at a woman on a boat in
Oh
The
my
Do-Over.
god.
Adam Sandler's ping pong paddle pose is a reference, again, to "You Don't Mess with the Zohan." The pea-stained sheets are a reference to Bobby Boucher's pea-stained sheets in The Waterboy.
In The Waterboy. Yeah, that one I remember.
During the credits, there's a scene where Hubie catches a rubber ball and says, "Now you're all in big trouble," which is a Billy Madison reference. The O'Doyle's throwing a flaming bag of poop at Hubie, another Billy Madison reference. And lastly, Steve Buscemi wearing Danny McGrath's t-shirt costume from Billy Madison.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's 13. That's all of them.
The man.
Yeah,
did
see, I
his
watched this movie
research.
6.5 times. The movie is an hour 45 long. You figure out how many hours of my life I did that for you people.
I don't want to get sad.
Zach's gonna watch Hubie Halloween more times than we get listens on this episode.
I can't blame them.
Those of us who did see
Zach.
it, Zach, 6.5 times, wrote down his rating based off his brief memories,
Brief?
and nostalgia of 30
Extensive
weeks
memories.
or whatever. And now we're gonna Ben, Cam, and I will give our first impressions.
Yeah, I get to go
on
last.
Hubie Halloween, and Zach will bring up the
Yeah.
rear per usual.
As he does.
Okay. So,
Like father, like son.
cool.
Oof. Not a listener, but oof.
It's not okay. Okay.
The best thing is my Netflix recommendation engine is just only Adam Sandler movies. Like, while we've been talking, it's just scrolling by, and I've seen Sandy Wexler, The Do-Over, and then I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry.
Did we all ruin our Netflix
I hope not.
for a podcast episode?
Mine's gonna be like, wow,
brought
this
back
is the
the
first
thumbs,
movie
so
you
you're good
watched
now.
on Netflix in like a month. Do you want to watch more of this?
Wait, did you
No.
give it a thumbs up?
I
or a
didn't do
thumbs
it.
Yeah,
down?
they brought back the
How did
thumbs,
you-
so you can fix it.
Oh,
So, like I've said numerous times, this is a really stupid movie. Like, this is a really dumb movie. There's no way to like go around that. It's a dumb movie. They set out to make a dumb movie, and they did it.
by God, they did it.
What I do like about this movie is it is enjoyable to watch, especially if you are like a dumb comedy like type of person, or like a
If you're a moron.
no, that's not what I mean. I don't mean moron. Like there are comedy movies that are like smart comedy. There are comedy movies that are kind of more slapstick. That's kind of where I'd put this one more. If you were a fan of like Adam Sandler movies from like the 90s, I think you'd get a kick out of this one. It's not a good movie though. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give it like a 4 or 3 out of 10. So I'll split the difference and go 3.5 out of 10. It's a bad movie, but it still is enjoyable to watch.
Wow,
You did it.
that's the review. Now, one wow out of 10. As I said, I don't really. I don't know. Like, I don't prefer dumb comedies. I like witty dialogue. I'm not really a big slapstick person. But I was watching this movie with the shit-eating grin the whole time. Did I hate it? No. Did I enjoy myself watching it? Yes. Is it good? Depends on your
Also
definition.
no.
Do I think it was good? Not really. Would I watch it again? I feel like I'd have to be in the mood. Just want to laugh at something dumb. Like the shirts were probably my bright spot. The like sexual pun shirts were on the old lady were just so funny. As far as a rating goes, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. I think out of 10. It's worth a viewing if you just want to like chuckle sometimes.
Hubie Halloween. It was a movie. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a movie to watch if you're an Adam Sandler fan. If you're someone that, you know, enjoyed his movies, it's great to watch for the Easter eggs. It's, you know, one of those things where you kind of get to watch, and a lot of the, I feel like a lot of the humor sometimes comes from seeing the Easter egg and it reminding you of something funny that happened in a different movie. The mom's shirts definitely kept me laughing throughout the movie, kind of kept me going from scene to scene, you know, trying to think what's going to be the next thing. But overall, I did not enjoy this movie. It was rough. I'm going to give it like a 2. There's a couple things that will get you a chuckle here or there, but if you don't watch this movie, I'm not going to tell you you're missing anything. In fact, you might be saving yourself an hour and 40 minutes to do something else.
What if you watched it 6.5 times?
Or if you watched it 6.5 times, then you've wasted almost a full day's worth of productivity of your life to watch this movie.
Oh, so my rating did change from the first time I watched it, basically every time after that. But you know, I watched this movie 6.5 times in like 3 weeks, so eventually you get a little old of it, and I'm sure that's what it was. It was not the quality of the movie at all. It was how often I watched it. You guys made a lot of great points. This movie is a gold mine if you're a Sandman fan. If you've seen The Waterboy and Happy Gilmore and Little Nicky and Billy Madison, and you love those movies, this is going to be... It's like when that band that you love throughout your high school years disappears, and then like 10 years later they come back and they're about to go on this big huge tour.
Is
and
Adam
then
Sandler
COVID happens.
MCR?
Hubie Halloween is the
Adam Sandler
MCR.
Blink-182?
This movie is a watered down greatest hits of the Sandman's collection. It hits on the SNL level. It hits on his classic movies. Is it a good movie? Is it a classic? The answer is clearly no. It is not a great movie. Did I really enjoy it? Yeah, I watched it 6.5 fucking times. I really enjoyed watching this movie every time. Mostly because of the references. There are definitely some funny parts. The movie, I do think, can stand on its own. If you've not seen any Adam Sandler movies, then what this is it's a feel-good family flick. It's just above that Lifetime movie that comes out every Christmas. So that's the thing. Guys, go back and watch these movies you watched as kids. There are some fucking dirty jokes in the Disney movies. Boner donor will last. The 7-year-olds won't know what it means. The 17-year-olds will feel uncomfortable with their 37-year-old parents. It's perfect.
Doing the math
Toner
here.
will last.
So 20 or so
Those
20.
those 20, yep. 20-year-old parents. Yeah.
Was there something wrong with that, guys?
No, not at all. That's fine.
Plenty of people I went to high school with had multiple kids before they were 20.
Well, okay, but I'm not gonna judge.
Proud
people
listeners
for
of the
life
show.
choices.
Proud listeners of the Cocktails and Classics podcast.
It is like a tad young, but you know, to each their own. That's okay.
Hubie Halloween, what can you say about it? You could say a lot. You could say a little. Nothing I'd rate this movie as will save it from appearing in our bottom movies of all time. So I'll just be honest. The movie flat out deserves a 3.
Wow.
The movie is gold if you're watching it for a specific reason. Like if you're stoned and you sit down with a plate of nachos, this might be the funniest shit you've seen in 5 years. But if you sit down and you're like, you know what, I can watch like Goodfellas or Hubie Halloween, and I'm not sure which Ray Liotta movie I should put on, you probably made a bad choice.
Bad call.
Bad call. Bad News Bears. Watch that instead. I'm glad we did this.
So is that your
I'm
rating?
glad that
It's a 3?
It's a 3.
Okay.
The first time I saw it, it was probably a 5.
Wow. Okay.
I laughed my ass off the first time I saw this movie. It's still kind of funny now. Am I glad that I did all that research to come up with the most cohesive list of Adam Sandler movie references? Yeah, wish I would have done it by the third movie. But I'm glad that this podcast has the most fuck you Looper, fuck you Cinemark movie or Cinemax movie, whoever the fuck you are. They've each got like here's seven Sandler references that you missed, and like, no, nobody missed those 7. You know which ones you guys all miss? The Steve Buscemi wearing his shirt from Billy Madison. You all missed the pea stained bedsheet from The Waterboy. Like, guys, tighten up your shit. You've been in business for 20 years. Get your shit straight. This podcast is clearly here to dominate. It's clearly here for the long haul. We've got longevity because we've got the facts.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review, leave a rating, comment on our Instagram, our sometimes Twitter, maybe Reddit. Who knows? Reach out to us and tell us, did you like this modern movie? This is the most recent movie we've done. I'm pretty sure it's the most recent movie we could have done. I don't know if anything else is released. This instant classic Hubie Halloween. Hit us up on Instagram at Cocktails and Classics Pod, or use the hashtag Cocktails and Classics. Send us your movie and drink recommendations. If you made the spiked punch, and as always, watch responsibly.